I'm on early today. You know, today is a great day. So for those of you who will be tuning in, I certainly would appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Definitely today we're going to talk about the magical cube of 3, 5, and 7. I know a lot of times we don't usually get into certain things and elements, but today we're going to talk about the magical cube of 3, 5, and 7. That is connected not only to your Blue Lodge, but it's connected to the Royal Ark. And it's also connected to the Shriners. So that cube is a direct item, or may I say emblem or symbol, that is directly connected in Freemasonry. And I say that because in the 3, 5, and 7 that we deal with, I often talk about masonry being like an illusion full of magic and things like that. And that is true. That is so true. However, I think most of the time that we tend to forget the essence of Freemasonry and how it is built to help good men become better men. How do we take those symbols and apply them? We tend to forget the connect or the allegory that Masonry has, and tend to really want to take a look at it. We just feel that because of this thing we call the Freemasons and the Order of the Eastern Star, we good. But how are you good when you're a part of something, but yet don't study it? Don't take the time out to go look really deep into it and to really begin to enjoy the craft, not just on a social level, but in the philosophy that it has and the teaching that it has. And I think that most of us tend to forget that. And that is including the Eastern Star also. And we must realize these are the things that's going to attract and keep those members who may otherwise say, you know what, this is not really for me. But in the beginning, you have a person who may come to be a Mason or Eastern Star, and they're fired up. I mean, in the beginning, they are hot. I mean, this is the thing that's going to me, that's going to really keep new members interested in Freemasonry and the Order of the Eastern Star. See, here's the catch. If you want to maintain your new members, first of all, you have to find out why did they want to become a Mason. We all know that. Some say because their grandfather was a Mason, or their dad, or their mother was an whatever reason. Now, what is their reason for wanting to become? Was it because of the individual who led their life was an example to them and they felt that they need to be part of that organization? And if that is true, then we must, as brothers be and sisters, begin to impart in those who are interested, those who are coming in, the very essence of Freemasonry and the Order of the Eastern Star. We don't do that. What we do is we tend to take a step back from them and then move forward from there. I think what we should do is give them something to do. I'm not talking about giving them tickets to go sell dinners. I'm actually talking about getting them involved with the lodge. First of all, explain it to them about the essence of Freemasonry, the essence of the Order of the Eastern Star. Give them a lecture. Have them to present to you a paper. Have them to present to you something that's going to be tangible, that they have to put time and energy into, that they're going to receive a grade on. This is how you're going to maintain those new members. If you have a new member that is coming in, be it a sister or a brother, and they have nothing to do other than sell tickets, this is not what we're all about. And then you're shorting yourself out because apparently they want to become a Mason or an Eastern Star for something. There was something that was drawing them into it, not just a social thing, but something else. What is that tangible thing that draws people into Freemasonry and to the Order of the Eastern Star? That tangible thing. And I believe that not only is it because of the brotherhood and sisterhood that we hold so dearly, I believe is those mysteries and hidden things that most of us get into, and some of us just tend to want to shake our heads and move on. But once again, hit the subscribe button. Come on in, everybody. Hey, don't forget you can order your cup. And this is on the Ancient, Free, and Accepted Mason side. And no, I'm going to say this here. No, if you're not a Mason, you can't have the cup. Plain and simple. If you're not a Mason, the shirt I had on the other day, you can't have the shirt. Okay? I'm just going to put it out there for you to have, so no one will be saying, well, he's just selling product to anybody. No, you have to be a Mason. And we also got some Eastern Star Cups coming too in order to have these items. I mean, membership has its privileges. And that is just what it is. So welcome everybody in. I appreciate you coming on. Today I'm on a little early. I kind of like this. And I'm hoping that I will be able to do earlier shows, not only for the East Coast, but also for the West Coast, because people sometimes have a lot to do in their lives. And they just don't have time to catch the show live. But today, for those of you who are coming in, I certainly appreciate you coming in today, catching the show. I really do. Yeah, tea does the body good. Trust me on that. So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. I'm hoping that I can have Brother Debo Teller to come on. We're going to talk about the Shriners. We're going to talk about the Shriners. We're also going to talk about the Royal Art Masons. We're also going to talk about that magical cube. What is so special about that 3, 5, and 7? And I'm going to begin to break that down in just a little while. I just want to bear with me. But if you feel you want to call in tonight's show, it's going to be 619-985-1184 is tonight's show. I'm going to say this. Once the show is over, please do not call the number unless I inform you that I'm going to be available for a few more minutes. I be getting all sorts of phone calls, and it's not that I don't appreciate it. I do. Magical cube, that special number of 3, 5, and 7. Now, if you have been initiated, passed, and raised, you know along the journey, you're going to find something very interesting, and that is a cube. You're going to find that cube in the Fellowcraft degree. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it in the Fellowcraft degree. It is right there for all to see if you have been initiated into the craft. Once you open it up, you would notice how it flares open. It's almost as if it is in a Y shape. The fact of the matter is when you open that cube, you say, Eureka, I have found it. I have discovered it. What have you discovered in that cube, I may add? Because what I've found is that the number 15 plays a very important role in Freemasonry, but a lot of times we don't touch on it. Okay, so with the 15, you can add 4, 9, and 2 and get 15. You can add 8, 1, and 6 and get 15. And 3, 5, and 7 and get 15. But what is so special about that magical cube? If you would notice, it is squared completely. It is squared completely. When you are able to get the complete number of 15 within a cube, it is squared completely. That is what is so unique about that 15. Funny, the devil card in the Torah is 15. Oh man, no, bro, I'm not. No, not today. Not today. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay to the show today. We're talking about the number 15, but not on that level. Uh, he said in the 15 is the devil's number in the Torah. Okay, all right. We gonna leave that right there. But right today, the 15, as far as masonry is concerned, is a squared number. Okay, dealing in 3 columns. One is 4, 9, and 2. The other one is 3, 5, and 7. The other one is 8, 1, and 6. Gives you 15. Now within that squared number, once it is opened up, you can say, Eureka, I have discovered. But what have you discovered is something that is different. It is completely, you take an odd number, and that odd number is squared across the board. Simple as that. That odd number is squared across the board. Sometimes I think we tend to forget the uniqueness of the cube. 3 represents the first 3 degrees. It's related to the senses. The 5, the order of the architect. 7 is the liberal arts and science. Absolutely. But check this out. What about the 4, the 9, and the 2? What does that represent? What about the 8, the 1, and the 6? What does that represent? Because numbers within Freemasonry represents a lot of things. Now let's take a look at this here. Now, the first set of numbers, which is 4, 9, and 2, I would particularly say represents your inner apprentice. You're going to ask, well, why do you say that 4, 9, and 2 represents the inner apprentice? Because with the 4, 9, and 2, it leads into your 3, 5, and 7, which puts you in the middle chambers. Now, if you really want to get complicated, once you leave the middle chambers, you then go into what we call the holies of holies. You can read this in any Masonic book you want to. It's open to the public. But however, there's something special about when you enter into the holies of holies. There you will find the 8, the 1, and the 6, which again lead you to the 15. Now, as you get into the Royal Arch degree, which you have to get into in order to complete your Master Mason degree, you will find that it was 3 times 3. 15. It's a squared number. It's a squared number. So follow me, if you will, as we begin to go from the inner apprentice, the Fellowcraft, the Master Mason, into the Royal Arch, which is the completeness of the Master Mason degree. Think on that. Just for a moment, think on that. And then you want to ask yourself, well, if the Royal Arch degree is the completeness of the Master Mason degree, why was it separated? Because that which is lost in the Master Mason degree, you find it in the Royal Arch degree. Yeah, it's found. Because if you know anything about Hiram Abiff, and you read his complete story as it is written in the Bible, you will find that Hiram Abiff did not die. You'll find that. This is why it's called the legend of Hiram Abiff. So you may ask, well, who's in the cube? Who's in the cube? Because somebody's in the cube. Oh yeah, for sure. Somebody's in the cube, because you find that out in the Royal Arch degree. You do. You find that out in the Royal Arch degree. 3 times 3 under a living ark. So who's in it? Who's in the ark? I'm just saying. Live to live to reap old age. Oh, definitely. This can be a great show. Just stay on topic, please. Brother House, how you doing? Great. I'm gonna do my best, Brother House. If nobody comes on and want to take me off, I appreciate it. I'm going to try to stay on topic as much as I can. And if anybody want to add anything into the show that's going to help benefit the show, you're certainly welcome to do so. And while I'm on that, I'm going to share this with you. This show is all about the uplift of people and individuals. It is not a direct controversial show, but we do get controversial sometimes. But what we want to do is uplift the Mason. It's not about your jurisdiction or mainstream or whatever you want to call it. It's about the individual travel, the individual sister along these journeys and winding the labyrinth of life and climbing the Jacob's ladder and understanding what you're a part of, because a lot of times we don't get that deep. We don't. We go to lodge meetings, we do other stuff. We just don't get into the practice and the mystical side and the element side of Freemasonry and what it is, because sometimes that can be scary to some people. It really can. But I would say that they are missing out on the essence of Freemasonry because they don't want to journey into those hidden allegories and mysteries for which Freemasonry presents itself. This is why I say also, drop some breadcrumbs along the way so you can find yourself back, drop them breadcrumbs so you can come back, because sometimes you do need to do that, because some things in Masonry will make you shake your head and rethink the essence of this fraternal order. It is just that. Those are facts. Look like the boogeyman. Boy, you got me going tonight. So let's continue to talk about that magical cube. Something special about that cube. Hold on a second. Let me get into this real quick. Go that way. Close out. And when you take a look at this thing, this magical cube, and you break it down from the 4, the 9, the 2, the 3, the 5, and 7, the 8, the 1, and the 6. And then as you begin to progress into the holies of holies, as I've said before, then as you begin to continue up the New York right side, there you find that which is lost. Okay, and as you find that which is lost, you're going to scream out, Eureka! I have discovered it. I have found it. You know, in life we have those moments to where we discover something. It's like a Eureka type of moment, and this is what you find in the cube: a Eureka type of moment, a moment to where you have discovered that which you were searching for, that which is lost. This is why, if you look at the third degree, and you look at the where Harriman Biff was buried at, on a hill, and you find a hill, the acacia represents life, and it does, because it is forever green. Okay, it is forever green. And then if you notice, when you get to the Royal Arch degree, you are lowered in a vault, and you find that which is lost, because you could not find that as the body of Harriman Biff was discovered. You couldn't find it. It was lost. Absolutely. Symbols of the immortality of the soul. And if you are a Mason and you don't believe that, then you're really not a Mason, because that is one of the telltales of being a Freemason. And that is just the truth of the matter. So, once again, I just want to welcome everybody to the show, John G. Jones Show. And if you want to get some of this and you want to talk and have that great conversation tonight, please do call in. 619-985-1184 is the call-in number tonight. I certainly would appreciate it. You know, we just want to build on this channel. We want to grow with you as you help us to continue to build and to grow. So I just want to welcome everybody on tonight's show. Hold on just a second. There you go. And we're going to build. Like I said, though, I'm waiting for Brother Tebow Taylor to call into the show. And he's going to bring some information in regards to Direction 3x leveraged ETFs. I don't want that. Trades in either direction. I don't want to trade nothing. There you go. That's what I want to do right there. So I'm waiting on Brother Debo Teller to come on to the night show so we can get it in, and we're going to have a good time here tonight. So once again, welcome everyone as we talk about the magical cube of 3, 5, and 7. Hold on just a second. I want to do this. Boom. I just want to do something real quick here. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we're going to move on. So, as we begin to dissect this cube, these numbers, let's take a look at some other numbers that may be in the cube. You may have, there are 3 levels in the cube. Okay, there are 3 levels, all right? So as you begin to venture these 3 levels, you're going to look at it from this point of view. Inner Apprentice, Fellowcraft, Master Mason. Inner Apprentice, Fellowcraft, Master Mason. We only deal with the 3, 5, 7 because that is what's told to us in the Fellowcraft degree. And as it was so, and as so, the brother broke it down here real good just a few minutes ago. He broke down, look at the double-headed eagle. It mirrors the 345 within the triangle. All right, Dan. Okay. All right. I'm about to take another look at that, Dan, my brother. I'm going to have to take another look at it. Greetings to all from Oakland, California. Well, welcome aboard there, Brother Humphreys. Welcome aboard. Appreciate it. Welcome aboard, Brother Bay. I appreciate you, Brother Diamond. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in tonight. I'm trying to find that brother he broke down. Okay. Brian Darnell, he kind of broke down at 357 on a Fellowcraft level, which is great. I like what he put, which is so true, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. It definitely does. If you tend to get into your scriptures, your Bible, you will find that it really gets in depth when talking about different numbers. We talk about the 7, which is supposed to be a perfect number. We talk about the 5, which is an odd number. And you talk about the 3, which can be broken down and made perfect. Yeah, that 3 can be broken down from an odd number being made perfect. But as you begin to travel, and as you begin to see it from various points of views, especially with the magical cube, and I say magical cube because within the cube there are different numbers that break the number is a complete number. The 15 is a complete number. And Robert House, I trust you, brother. If you want to comment on that, you're certainly welcome to do so, to where you may be able to have more input than what I have as far as that 3, 5, and 7 is concerned, which makes the 15 a complete number. If you would take your apron, your Masonic apron, with those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners on the Masonic apron, okay? Yes, there are 5 points on the Masonic apron. And if you flip it up correctly, you can form your own cube with that. Yes, you can form a cube with your Masonic apron. And you may be asking, well, how do you form a cube with your Masonic apron? If you take a look at your Masonic apron, as it is, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on your Masonic cube, right? On your Masonic apron, right? There's 5 points. With the flap with the flap up represents the higher, the flap down represents the lower, and that is just simply to say, as below, as above, with that point, the way it is. And then what you're going to do, you're going to turn it up. You know, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to, because this is taking me somewhere else I don't want to go. I don't want to, because I get into the wearing of the apron and how you turn it up and turn it that way. Then I'll be getting into something else that deals with us that we don't really too much give privy to in public view. So I'm going to stay away from that one. But you can get the cube out of your apron, though. You really can. That is something that you're going to have to check out and go from there. But we're going to take a look at some other numbers that's going to give us a 15. What we got there? Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah, I got to be cautious. Oh, certainly. I got to be cautious, bro. Let me tell you. I got to be cautious. Sometimes some of the brothers have told me, you know what, I need to slow it down a little bit, because I began to go into areas that's not necessarily where I should be going to. So definitely I'm going to agree with you on being cautious. Absolutely have to agree with you on that. So let's flip those same numbers. If you take those same numbers for the 4, the 9, and the 2, the 3, 5, and 7, the 8, 1, and 6, and if you flip those numbers and cross them over, you will still get your 15, no matter how you divvy them. But they can't be changed out of the box. They can't come out of the box that they're in, but they can always be moved around. Okay, so if I took the 2, the 7, and the 6 and flipped it over on the other side and moved the 4, 3, and 8 back over, and then I can even move the 9, the 5, and the 1, which is the center of the box, okay, or the cube, I'm still going to come up with 15 no matter how I look at it. And this is what makes the 15 so complete. And when you get into the Royal Arc degree, this is why they say 3 times 3. Yeah, this is why they break that thing down. Yep, that's it. This is how they break it down. So when you find that you are the living cube, you are that cube. Oh, you didn't know that? You are that cube. This is why even in scripture says, know thyself. Even in some of the great writings, it's always talking about know thyself. You are that cube. Once it has been opened and you discover, once you made that discovery, this is why they say, Eureka, I've discovered. You've discovered who you are. A lot of us don't get there, though. A lot of us don't. And then when you become a Shriner and you walk around, like you made that pilgrimage, you know how they walk around? That's a cube. They walk around the cube. Everybody walks around until every person has touched it. You know, we want to call it the camel walk, so we walk around in a circle. But as true Masons, not true Masons, but Shriners, true Shriners, or those who practice Shrindom, in its essence, understand that cube as they make their way along the desert, and they began to walk around and they touch it. Everybody touches. And here's the thing about it. When everybody goes around it, they touch it and they come out. It's a complete 360-degree circle around that cube. And we know the story behind the cube. If you are a Shriner, you should know the story behind the cube. Like I said once again, Brother Debo, if you're on tonight, I would certainly appreciate you give me a call. I keep looking down because I'm waiting on you to give me a call, my brother. So we can get into the second topic tonight, which is going to be dealing with the cube, but yet on the Shriner side. And there's going to be some things that we'll bring forth on that. And that was a topic that he and I had already spoke about. So once again, I want to welcome everybody to the show, and we're going to get it in tonight. And if anybody want to add anything to it, they're certainly welcome to do so. Let's see. Let me give him a call. Hold on just a second. Let me give him a call, because he might be out. I'm going to give him a call real quick, because if not, I'm going to move on. If a brother ever tell you that he wants to be a part of something, you give them the opportunity to do that. You give them the opportunity to do it. What do we got? So, welcome aboard, everybody. Definitely. If you want a cup, let me know. If you want a cup, let me know. I'll hook you up. Hey, bro, when you to call me, call in.
Hello?
Hey, Brother Debo.
Hey, what's up, brother?
I'm waiting on you to call in, man.
Okay, give me a little bit. I just getting out of a meeting. We had a little meeting put together for a little entertainment thing we putting together, and I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, you can't be forgetting me. I got you on speaker right now. You can't be forgetting me. So I'm gonna give you a little while. You get yourself situated. Don't forget to call in. I'm not gonna be here all night now.
All right, I got you, brother. I got you.
All right, then. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks. That was Brother Debo. I had to call him up to see what was his problem, see what was going on. So let's see what we got here now. The symbol of immortality of the soul. Really enjoying. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to take a look at that double-headed eagle. And it mirrors the 345 within the triangle. I'm going to have to take a look at that. The true name of God is what is lost. This is why, speaking of that, Brother Bay, since you said the true name of God is lost, this is why you should not pray in the name of Jesus in your lodge. Let me just throw that out there, because I know how we feel about that. And this is not to disrespect Yahweh at all. This is not to disrespect anyone as far as what their beliefs may be. But this is the reason that you do not pray in your prayer in the name of Jesus in your Masonic lodge. It is. Because if the true name is lost, then that name is really unpronounceable. It really is. And if anybody can show me or say or direct me in a path to where I may find something a little different, please do. Like I said, once again, if you want to call into the show tonight and have that conversation, that number is 619-985-1184. Certainly welcome to have you aboard tonight. And everyone who's coming on. Once again, that number is going to be 619-985-1184. There you go. Boom. So just so you know, the Most Wishful John G. Jones Grand Lodge and some of his members and officers will be traveling. We'll be headed over to Cancun, hopefully coming up here real soon. We'll be going over to fellowship with some brothers over in Cancun. I've never been to Cancun, so I've heard that it's a great place to have a vacation, and I'm looking forward to going with some of the brothers of the craft as we go and visit some of the brothers down in South America. So I'm looking forward to that trip coming up real soon. Of good and evil, light and darkness, Osiris and I don't want to mess that word up. I pass it. I don't want to. I don't want to do that to myself. I don't even want to try it. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. Like the Matrix, discover yourself. Absolutely, absolutely. Like the Matrix, discover yourself. I would like to purchase a cup. No problem. Hit me up. You can definitely. You can inbox me. You can find me on Facebook. You certainly can, and we can make that happen for you. 5 is the first old number, rejected unity, rejected until the okay, until the even number is a mixed symbol of conditions and order and disorder existing in the world. That's a good way of looking at that. I appreciate that, brother Darnell. Yeah, Darnell, I appreciate that. Oh, I appreciate that. Granted, once again, if you want a cup, because I'm seeing y'all putting it in there, if you want a cup, definitely hit me up. We'll make sure you get your cup. You got to pay for shipping, but the cups are only $5 a cup. We'll definitely get it to you, but you got to pay for the shipping. Hold on here. I have to make that call right back. That wasn't for somebody from the show. So we're going to go on and talk about and finish talking about these numbers, the 3, 5, and 7, and what these numbers really mean. So as we progress into the um, Royal Arc degree, we'll find that we are under a living arc. Okay, we will find that. And then in the process of knowing that you're under a living arc, you then find yourself when you go down in the cavern per se, and you discover that which is lost and is buried, then you understand. And this is just from my study, my opinion, and I encourage everyone to do that. If you are a Royal Archmason, please do that for yourself. Go look at that degree. It is a good degree to go look at. And when you discover that, then you would understand the essence of the 3 times 3 under the living arc. And why do we call out those 3 different names that was involved with the killing of Harriman Bith and with the killing of the legend of Harriman Bith? Okay, all of it is very significant in the life of the Mason. It is truly significant within the life of the Mason. But what we do, we tend to not study that part. We tend to bypass all of that. And what we do is we go into some other field where we don't really, I don't think a lot of us get the teachings of Freemasonry. We get the Yahoo moments, like you get the party moments, but I'm actually talking about something that's going to be tangible, something that's going to be exciting to keep the new member interested in Freemasonry, to keep the new member mind wide open, because we know back as an into apprentice, we are to occupy our minds with useful knowledge. So as you progress in Freemasonry, your thought is going to change. You're going to change. Trust me. The things I believe today, 10, 15 years ago, you couldn't even talk to me. That's truth. But like with anything else, we all grow up. We all grow up, and in the process of growing up, I've learned and I've listened and I've found out that the way I thought, my process, the way I did things, there were easier ways to do them. Things that brought harmony to me, things that brought peace to me. Dealing with the chakras, I didn't know anything about chakras 10, 15 years ago. I didn't. 9 years ago, yeah. But 10, 15, no, I didn't. And in learning all of that, I began to develop, I began to grow. I began to look at Freemasonry from a whole nother point of view. What was so interesting is that I began to see why we do certain things as we do them, because the tradition of Freemasonry is old and it is ancient. We like to talk about how it ascended from, how it was stolen. However, we have what we have now. The ideal is what you're going to do with it. Are you going to sit and just say, well, I'm a Mason and that's it, without really understanding what you're a part of? Are you going to go and say, okay, where did it come from? How did we come across this, I would say, this knowledge? of being able to help the good man become a better man. Why is it so many people are drawn to Freemasonry in the Order of the Eastern Star? It has to be something about the craft and the sisterhood that draws people in, not just from a party aspect, but from the way you carry yourself, from the way you live your life. Okay, that's the uniqueness of the organization, because it draws all men together regardless of your faith or your belief. And this is one of the tangible things that I find that is unique about Freemasonry, and it's going to be one of the things that save Freemasonry. But we who are Masons have to see it from that point of view. We have to come out of the box of thinking that we're the only ones. Like a brother told me, there's only two Grand Lodges of state, and that is Prince Hall, and that is mainstream Grand Lodges. Now I said, okay, if that's where you at, if that's what you believe, I'm cool with it. I am. But the only thing I would say this, as you begin to venture outside of your box, as you begin to open your cube and discover that there are more than multiple ways of getting to that 15, that complete number, then your mind is going to expand. But as long as you're here, the only numbers you're going to have is 3, 5, and 7. Follow me. The only numbers you're going to have is 3, 5, and 7, which makes you think, hey, 15. All right, you got change, blah, blah, blah. No. Once you begin to really begin to travel, you understand that 15 has multiple numbers that equal that 15, which makes it a complete number. And this is where you begin to see Masonry from a perspective of traveling versus my own. Okay? I know how people may feel in regards to my jurisdiction, and I'm okay with that. That's not my issue. The ideal is what am I going to do as a Mason with the information that I have? Am I going to use it to build me up? Am I going to be selfish with it? Or am I going to take this information as I've learned it, as I've gathered it, and share it to lift the next person up? And this is what Masonry is all about. You take that which you have and you share it with the next person. You don't say that, hey, my way or no way, because Masonry is progressive. And if anything is progressive, it's going to be forever changing, evolving. This is why you're never going to find all there is to know in regards to Freemasonry, because everything that we have, everything that we know is hidden in allegories. It is hidden and has secret meaning, different meanings to everything. And especially when you get into the appending bodies, where it deals in astrology, and it deals in signs, and it deals in other stuff. When you get there, you're going to see it from a different point of view. I like to talk about the Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2. I know that John Harrison Bay often say, those books don't count. You can't count books out that really enlightens you, and those books will enlighten you on Freemasonry in those appending bodies. Now, someone may differ from that, but those are the same books. That book is the same book that Prince Hall Scottish Rite is based off of. That Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2. I have a Prince Hall Scottish Rite book. And it is identical to the Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2. You may not like what it says as far as those footnotes are concerned. That's someone's opinion who's really indulged themselves in the study of the degree work. And this is why I often say that you have to go back and read your obligations, because a lot of us don't know what we have exactly said. A lot of us just say them because we want to be part of this worldwide fraternity so bad, till we just say the words without thinking of the consequences, because words have power to them. Word gives life and word gives death. Okay? Word gives life, words gives death. Words can raise you up, words can take you down. And this is what we have to remember, because if we don't take what we say seriously, if we don't take what we say as we go through these oaths and obligations, and if we don't take it, why are you even part of the organization? And this is the importance of the cube itself. Okay, within the cube, you can put that triangle in there with 3 equal parts. As a matter of fact, if you break it down, you find that triangle within the cube. Yeah, you can. You can find a triangle within the cube. For those of you who like geometry and all that great stuff, I'm not that guy, but I do know that you can find the triangle within the cube because on each part of the triangle are equal parts. Oh yeah, most definitely. So if you just tuning into the show, I want to say welcome, everybody. Brother Lee Hall, welcome. Brother Lewis, welcome. Brother Joseph, welcome. I appreciate everybody coming along tonight. The Kaaba focus on numbers and words. Oh, really? Okay. All right. Glad you mentioned that. Why I left my wait. Wait a minute. Brother, why did you leave your lodge? No light, guidance. Oh, okay. Well, let's hope. I would hope that you go back to your lodge. I would hope that, and when you do go back, that you would let them know this is what this lodge need in order to maintain its members, and also for the sisters. Even though the conversation is not really in regards to the sisters, but they also need that. Okay, they also need it. All right, so we're gonna go on. Yep, welcome everyone. The cube, the raising of the square. Oh, yes, sir. That's another thing. If you look at the Shriners and the fez that they wear, which represent a incomplete pyramid or incomplete triangle per se. If you view it from that point of view, you will find that it's not complete until you have transcend. Now you may say, well, why did he say transcend? Because a lot of us, if you really indulge yourself in masonry, and I like to say indulge yourself, if you got some real good books, they're going to show you that as you progress in masonry, you're going to begin to change the way you view and see things. You're going to begin to meditate. You're going to begin to do other things that you would not normally do. See, you're going to begin to take on other characteristics that's going to take you to I would say, a higher level or manhood. Because in Mason, we deal with 3 perspectives: youth, age, and manhood. Those are the 3 perspectives that we deal with. The process is where you at in this journey. Are you still dealing with youth? Are you still dealing with age? Or are you in the manhood part of this journey as a Freemason? This is where it's all at. This is what I've come to find on this particular journey. So tonight's show, if you want to call in, that number is going to be 619-985-1184. If you're going to call in tonight, once again, that number is 619. Let me see, 619-985-1184. You're definitely welcome to call in tonight's show so we can definitely have a good time and talk about some of these things that we don't usually talk about in masonry. Because I said in one of the shows that masonry deals in illusions. A lot of things that are hidden in masonry are hidden in what I would call an illusion. And I say that only because this is the basis of Freemasonry. You can walk into a room, you can stand a certain way. Nobody knows who you are. But if they look at your proper way of entering into a room, what are the points of my profession? You know, how do I enter a room? To the normal eye, you don't see it. But to those who can see, for those who are not blind, they see it. They see it. Greetings, everyone who's just coming on. I'd like to say welcome to the show tonight. We're talking about the magical cube, that 3, 5, and 7. We're talking about the 4, 9, and 2. We're talking about the 8, 1, and 6. Those all add up to 15, which gives you a complete number. It is a complete odd number. Think about that. And then, as I've said earlier, as you view yourself or move on up into the Royal Ark, you will find that which is lost, because we know that the Royal Ark degree caps off the Master Mason degree. It really does. And anybody that tells you it doesn't, they haven't done any reading on it. They just haven't. I would tell you this. If you have been that IPR, you're not complete until you complete the Royal Ark degree. That's my opinion. That's what I've read. That's what I've come across. Now, Brother House, and I say that only because I enjoy his conversation, his dialogue, may see it differently because he's of the Jewish faith, and they usually go the York right side instead of the they usually go the Scottish right side instead of the York right side. He may see it differently, and he also may be able to educate me on some things and the reason why. Okay, and I would say this as a person. When I get information, I like to share it. And the process is that in doing so, we all become enlightened. Okay? We all become enlightened. We do. So don't think that I'm sitting here knowing it all because I'm giving you information. I'm giving you information because it was given to me. It was something I read. It was something that came across my desk from the research lodge and you know those who were involved. And I want to send a special shout out to Big Brother Coop, you know, and he's now a member of the Research Lodge number 147. Also, Brother Stephen Jackson, I want to say appreciate you. Thank you very much. He's going to be one of the administrators who's going to be taking out those crazy comments that you guys be putting in, you know. So welcome aboard. Oh, don't forget, hit the like. Oh yeah, definitely hit the like button on the show. Yeah, definitely do that. Let's keep this thing moving because we want to have this show to be different than any other show that you may find on the YouTube or the blogs when they talk about masonry. We want to really talk about something that's dear to us in the sense that this is what we get out of it, you know. And I'd like to ask the question to you tonight while I have your attention here. What, you know, I mean, what do you get out of masonry? I can read your comments here. And you can tell me as we go through it, what do you get out of masonry? Because what I get out of masonry is not only the friendship and fellowship, but just the reading of the various books with the knowledge that it has in there, the hidden mysteries of Freemasonry. You know, somebody asked me, why is it that masonry has this so-called knowledge and doesn't want to share it? I would say this: everybody is not ready for what I would consider to be facts or truth. Everybody isn't. Hold on just a second. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, good evening. Good afternoon, brother.
Hey, good day to you. Welcome aboard.
Hey. Hey, well, as I was listening and thinking about this, you know, can we dissect this number 3 a little bit and number 7 a little bit?
Yeah, we can dissect it a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's start with a little bit on 3. All right, so 3, among practicality, all the ancient people was considered the most significant of all the numbers.
Uh-huh.
And it was in many ancient religions.
Okay.
This number, you know, it has certain attributes of many of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if I'm pronouncing this, Jovis, Thunderbolt, with 3 forks.
Okay.
And Cerberus, the dog of Hades, had 3 heads.
All right.
So the druid, the ceremonies contain many references to it. And also with the rites of Mithras.
The rites of what?
Mithras.
Okay.
Mithras.
Okay.
And the Hindus.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And 3 also is the sum of monads and duads.
All right.
Okay, so it's the female principle, and it also represents the creative power.
Could you turn your volume down in the back, please?
Let me find out what this thing is. Hold on. How's that?
There you go. I appreciate it.
Okay. and as I said, 3 also it represents the creative power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I get from the number 3.
Okay, so what do you get out of number 7?
Okay, well, from 7, that's 7 altars.
Okay.
All right. 7 caverns.
Okay.
7 deities.
All right.
And the candidate, when you're doing your initiation, the candidate is met with 7 obstructions.
Okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
Okay, once again, and going a little further.
Mm-hmm.
Noah had 7 days.
Noah had
notice.
what?
Noah, he had 7 days notice.
Okay.
For him to start, or you want to say commence of before the deluge came, before the rains came.
Mm-hmm.
We go a little further and said when Noah took him into the ark, he took clean beasts,
Mm-hmm.
and they were taken in by 7.
Okay. But
The ark came to rest on Mount.
Okay, but what about the 7 being the value sum of 4? What about 7 being associated with the square and 3 which is associated in the triangle?
And all that is associated. I'm taking this a step a little further to that.
Okay.
From that. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
that's why I put up earlier when we were talking about the other numbers.
All right.
The 3, 4, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I could get deeper into these things.
But see, this is the thing. A lot of brothers, when you say you can get deeper into it, and I appreciate, and I believe you possibly can, but just like a brother called the show the other night, he kept saying, I don't want to get too deep, but how deep is too deep? I only say that because when you say that you don't want to get too deep, brother, go. The ideal is
you
come back.
I didn't say I didn't want to. I said I can get deeper into these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can get very deep into it, and there's no such thing as not going too deep or not going too far. Because if one does not have that information,
mm-hmm.
why not take it there?
Absolutely.
We're here to do what? Share information.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because we all have a piece of this puzzle.
We do.
We all have a piece of it.
Yep, absolutely.
So share what I know, and somebody else is going to come in and share what they know.
Mm-hmm.
And we can put this thing together.
Okay. And like I asked earlier, when I asked brothers, so what do you get out of Freemasonry? Brother Shahid said what he gets out of Freemasonry is the fellowship, morality, and brotherly love, a universal scale, teaching me to stay upright always, squaring my actions and remembering my points on the fellowship. Now that's a good book quote. It may, that's and I say that with no pun intended, but I say that because that's what we usually say. And if that's truly what he gets, and I believe that's what he gets because that's what he put out there, that is the essence of Freemasonry in its totality.
Well, let me tell you. Can I tell you what I get out of this?
Go ahead, tell me. I don't want to venture off my cube though. I know that's a question that was posed, but I don't want to too much venture off my cube. I want to stay focused on my cube tonight. But go ahead, talk to me.
But I think this stays within focus of that cube.
Okay.
But I get, because this thing is rough.
All right.
Masonry is rough.
Okay.
Wherein the point is that when we get out of bounds, because we got to stay within this cube.
Mm-hmm.
When we get out of bounds, it gets a little rough, and we have brothers that will get out of bounds.
Uh-huh.
We will get out of bounds ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
When we get disenchanted with this, we'll get upset, because things don't work the way we want it to work.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, and every time I talk to you, I say this thing about love. It's all about love, but it's some hard lessons to be learned within Freemasonry.
Mm.
Very hard lessons to learn.
Yeah, because I'm not built to love everybody. I'm gonna let you know now. I'm not built to love everybody. I'm not.
That's true. We're not.
I mean, people can say whatever they want to say. I am not built to love everyone. I am not.
That's true. Yeah, but we can try.
I never said I couldn't try. I'm just not built for it. And I say that because even if I look at the cube, that 3, 5, and 7, that 4, 9, 2, the 8, 1, and 6, and how it's broken down, and how when you unfold the cube, then you find out who you are within inside that cube. And even as I venture into the royal arc, and I'm 3 times 3 under a living cube per se, you know, it is under a living cube, even though we say a triangle. When you begin to venture and to find out those various things, you discover who you are. You're going to discover that there are some things that you're not going to. You're going to discover that some things you're just not going to indulge in. I'll leave it at that, because I don't want to. I don't want to go somewhere else with that, because you know you actually can. But go ahead.
But within that, to go back to it, it said even if you went back and you looked at within that cube, like you said, you have so many numbers within that cube.
Mm-hmm.
And I just refer back to 2 when you have the you have antagonism, you have good and evil, which you can turn into light and darkness.
Okay.
So it goes to the point where saying you're not built, or we're not built to love everybody.
No, absolutely.
Because we got that in. We have that in.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not perfect. So.
No, wait a minute now. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to flip that. When you say we're not perfect, I disagree with that. Let me tell you why I disagree with that. When you say we're not perfect. Within the cube factor, every number that measure up within the cube comes out to 15, which makes it a complete and whole number, which is perfect. It's an odd, perfect number, right?
I got you. I got you. I see where you're going. I got you.
Okay, so in the process, if we're going to follow, if we're going to indulge ourselves in that, this is where I would say the lodge of perfection comes into play.
Gotcha.
Because we are in the process of becoming perfected.
So what is that? What is that? That's what? Growth?
That is growth. We're in the process of becoming perfect in everything we do, in who we are.
Okay.
For a person to say, well, I'm not perfect, then you are slighting yourself, because if you are a follower of Yahweh, I'm not talking about a Christian. I said a follower of Yahweh. He clearly says, be ye perfect because I am perfect in my Father.
Right.
He doesn't say be somewhat perfect. He doesn't say, I think I can be perfect. He said, be ye perfect. And if you're going to follow Yahweh, then you are going to be perfect. And for people to slight themselves and say, well, you know what, I ain't perfect. No, brother, we're on a journey to become perfect, because that's where your transition comes from. Check that out.
I get you. I get you on that.
So, but that's the process, though. But how many of us look at it from that point of view?
I can tell you, probably not many. Probably not many. And you see, this is why the forum is good, because it gives several perspectives of Freemasonry, or if you want to say, it gives the perspective of different points of light.
Okay.
So, but with that, that's all I have right now.
All right. Well, as always, I want to say I appreciate you calling in. You always bring flavor. You always add something to it, and I appreciate it.
All right, brothers. I'm going to continue to type in and listen.
Well, most definitely. I've been in here for an hour already, so I wasn't going to hold you all day. This was not going to be a 2-hour show. I'm really trying to break it down to keep it at about an hour minimum. And, because I don't want to bore people. I want people to come in to get something from the show that's going to help them along their Masonic journeys, and then realize that this thing we call Freemasonry is bigger than where we're at. And I use this for a prime example. Last night after my lodge meeting, me and some of the brothers, we stepped outside the building, and I asked a question to them. I said, "Where's your lodge?" They looked at me like I lost my mind for a second. And then they looked back at, huh?
A lot of brothers don't know that. You can ask them, where's their lodge? What's the dimensions of the lodge? They don't know that. They don't understand. They're going to give you something where they go and meet at. They don't know
Well,
what truly a lodge is and where it's at.
Well, this is the question that was posed last night. So last night when we stepped outside the building, we was locking up. I said, "Brother, where's your lodge?" And they looked at me like, "Did we not just come out of the building?" And I'm like looking, I'm like, I could tell you where my lodge is at. And they was like, what do you mean? I was like, "Well, brothers, if you just think about it, where do Masons meet?" And we don't have to say it. I said, "See, my lodge is as far as from the east and to the west, as far as from the heavens to the center." And they looked at me like with an aha moment. Back to the cube. Back to being perfect. It was like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, that's where my lodge is at. This goes back to saying this is why we're able to travel as we do. If my lodge was only in that building, then I'm only, them four walls is all I can do.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So
we hear sometimes when during the teachings, I would ask, and I say it this way: what is the perfect dimension of a lodge,
right?
Or your lodge?
Okay.
See, now I'm taking it from I'm taking it to make it possessive. So maybe it could be a little more understood of what I'm saying. And then you still have our brothers, they want to say, "Oh, well, the building that we meet in, this and this and this and that." No, I'm not talking about that. Like you said, we're not talking about that.
Right.
And then you just break it down to them like you said, So, and then what, your canopy, things of that nature. And you said it just as clean and as clear. You went right back to that box, that cube.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I'm going to point out something that Brother Lewis just pointed out to me. He said a perfect person is built to love everybody. Well, when I get there, because I'm on this journey right now, when I get there, I top it off with that. That's going to be the capstone right there, baby.
Hey, you look at it this way. We within Masonry, we are always under construction, and even in life,
right?
We are always under construction.
And but that we are
being under and being under construction. That does not mean that we have to limit ourselves. We still strive to hit that perfect mark, to hit that bullseye.
Oh yeah, most definitely, we do. We push the envelope to get there. But see, that's the thing. Here it is. Most people don't want to push the envelope.
But
most people
know what happens?
Most people like their comfort zone.
Think about it. And this is, I look at it this way. I'm going to make this possessive to me. When I hit that bullseye to be perfect, you know what happens?
What happens?
I believe is that I cease to exist within this system.
I'm just saying. That's why I said I had to transcend. Didn't I not say that?
There it is. Because what does it say? We are trying to go to a point where no man ever returns. Once we get all the answers, we can no longer be here.
You can't.
We can't.
You definitely can't.
Once we figure out that cube, that Rubik's Cube, or what they want to call it, once we actually figure it out, there's no need of us being here, because now we need to go to the spiritual realm.
Yep. That the facts are what they are. So look, brother, I appreciate you calling in tonight. And we're going to get ready to log off. And I want to say I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. And I hope as always, that you've gotten some out of this, as I have, by listening, by reading your comments, and it gives me something to think about and come back with another show. So I'm gonna go ahead and log off. And as always, whatever you do, stay out them bushes and keep your light on. And don't put it up on the bed. Put your light high. Put your light high. Let people see it. All right. So until we see each other, until we meet and greet, peace and be well. I'm out.
All right.
Later. I think. Wow. I'm trying to log off. Oh, there you go. Well, everybody, please take care of yourselves and be safe today. And happy Mother's Day to all the sisters of the craft. Happy Mother's Day to all the brothers who have mothers. And if your mother has transcend, blessings be to you.